Hello, and thank you for your Doc Pen's purchase of the Twisty Travel Pen. I'm going to show you how to re-ink your pen or how to reload it with ink. This is our first offering, and I'm going to show you exactly what to do. You got it in the box, just like I have it opened up here before you. I've got a piece of paper towel folded in fourths. I've got bottled ink. You will have a first cartridge included with your pen. This is an international cartridge, and you'll also have an empty cartridge. So you can plug in your the one that comes with it that has ink in it, or you can fill this with your own bottle of ink. I'm going to show you how to fill it with your own bottle of ink, because loading it with your cartridge that already has ink is the same process at the end of this. So here's our Twisty Travel Pen. I have popped the cap off of it, and I'm just going to set it aside. And now I'm going to take this pen and I'm just going to twist the barrel off of it, and I'm going to set it aside. And you'll notice that we have this clear cartridge right here. And then we have the nib. Now, since this is the first time this pen has been loaded, we do not have ink in it. So this is going to be a little easier. I can touch this nib, but once it's got ink in it, I don't want to touch it because obviously I'll get ink all over my fingers. But this first time, we're just going to pull this out, and you can see it's got a hole there that goes into the nib. And I'll show you what this looks like just so that you know. See this piece right here? When this is filled, this plugs in just like so with the ink in it, and the ink loads into the nib. So that's what the end of that looks like. You're not going to break it if you take it apart like this. Just do know that when you handle this, you can change how you see how that moves a little bit. You can change how it feeds. So I'll show you how to fix that here in a little bit. But this just twists right in just like that. And we're going to set this aside. And then you have this syringe, and I don't know if I'll have it assembled already for you in the box, or I might have to just put it in disassembled, depending on how long the box is for it. But you can see there's a needle, and then this part is the converter or the syringe, and it pushes like that. See that? All right, so, and this is how you assemble it. You got a white piece that plugs in, and then the needle. You can also use water with this to flush your pen. And then, of course, this is how we're going to ink it as well. So I'm going to open up my ink. I do not keep this open more than I have to. And you might think that's because of air or whatever. No, the reality is I'm clumsy and I will end up spilling it. So that's why I don't leave it open longer than I have to. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to fill this with ink, and I'm going to put the needle all the way down in the bottom of the cartridge, like so. And I'm going to very gently, you're going to watch the plunger, I'm going to very gently fill it with ink. All right. I don't want to do it from up here, because if you do it from up here, you're going to end up having ink spill out, and that's what we don't want. Okay. But I'm going to put it all the way down in the bottom and fill it. So first off, I'm going to push this plunger all the way down, just like a syringe, and I'm going to stick it in my bottle of ink. And it's going to, well, actually, this is probably going to be enough. Just one little time there. And if it's not, I can always fill it with more. But you can see I've got ink there on the needle. I'm going to put this in like so. I'm going to turn it straight up, and I'm going to gently, very gently, because I don't want it to shoot all over and make a big mess. Put that right in like so. And I'm going to pull the needle out before I let the plunger up. Okay. Now for that draw, I filled it about halfway. Okay. So that'll, the more you do this, you'll get used to pulling in the right amount. But it's pretty easy to do. So I'm going to put this back in all the way down to the bottom. I'm going to gently fill it. All right, see there. Oh, I'm going to pull it out. And then let the plunger go. And the reason why you do that is because you don't want to just pull the ink right back into the syringe. And I'm going to shoot the extra ink back down into the ink bottle gently, because it does shoot everywhere if you're not careful. These make great water guns, by the way. And then I will flush this with water. I'll take it over to the sink and I'll flush it, because you'll see there's some residual ink in there, and I don't want to put it away with that. So I will flush that out with water. I'm going to set that aside, and then we're going to take our nib. Now, when we hold this, we do not want to push this in while holding to the section, okay? We want to hold on to the nib. That's what your paper towel is for. If you have ink in it or have had ink in it, you don't want to touch this with your bare fingers because you'll get ink all over you. So we will use the paper towel, but since this is the first load, I don't need to do that. But you don't want to put it in this way. Okay, the reason why is because this nib has very, very tiny threads. That's how it screws in there, and you'll basically push this out and you'll push the whole nib out. We don't want that. We want to push this onto that nib just like I showed you before we started. And I'm going to do it with the ink facing straight up because I don't want to spill anything, right? All right, and I'm going to push this down as tight as I can. And then I'm going to make sure the nib is fully seated, and that's it. That part is done. Now, what I will tell you is that right now the opening of the nib is here, and the cartridge is back here with the ink, right? So there's no ink between here and here yet, right? So if I started to try to write with this, it would not write. See that? It's dry. And that's simply because the ink has not traveled yet. I'm going to put this lid back on before I do something stupid. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to prime this by basically gently squeezing. See how that bubble just popped up? That's because I'm gently squeezing it. I just want to get a little bit of that ink down into the nib and the feed. All right, and then I'm going to, it's gravity. Gravity is what makes it work, so I'm just going to kind of tap it out a little bit. And then I'm going to try it again. I don't have a lot of hand strength, so I probably didn't squeeze it hard enough. There we go. All right, so now I've got some ink coming out now. I'm going to get a piece of paper. All right, get a piece of paper. I've got it started. I'm going to put, this is the barrel. I'm just going to put this back over and screw this on. And now we're just going to write. See that? Beautiful. Now, I mentioned about manhandling the nib here. Let me show you something. This is the feed, and this is the silver part is the nib. All right, this feed part should be directly between those two tines. It's got to be perfectly even. So if it's not, you could take this paper towel that we had handy, and I'm just going to show you what to do. All you do is you take the paper towel and gently push that feed. That feed will move. Now see, if I had done that with my fingers, I would have got it on my fingers. But you just gently push this one side or the other to make sure it is perfectly centered. And if it is, then you are going to have a beautiful writing pen. So that's how you load your ink. I hope this has been informative for you. You can always email me. Just send me an email at docpens@pm.me. Thanks. Have a great night.